Today we're going to review a very useful redstone circuit, and that is the T flip-flop. First we must ask the question, what is a T flip-flop? And a T flip-flop is very simple. All it does is it takes a pulse, so like when you press a button, something that turns on and off in a relatively short time, and it turns it into basically a lever. It turns a button into a lever. So it'll turn a pulse into either on or off state, and it will stay like that until it receives another pulse. So let me demonstrate. When I press that button, this spit the redstone block out, powering that, and that will stay like that forever until I press that button again. So how does this work? It's pretty simple. So first, there's two parts to this. The first part is a monostable circuit. Now what this does is basically using some redstone trickery is we can get a 1-tick pulse through here. So I take this pulse, which is 15 ticks long, and cut it down to 1. And what that allows us to do is, only in Java Edition, these sticky pistons will spit out their blocks. So as you can tell, it went up and back so fast that this block couldn't go back with it. Now, when I activate it again, it'll go out really fast and then it will retract it. Like so. So, that is how a monostable circuit works. Now, we have multiple other designs, and some are simpler and others are quieter. So, here's a dropper design. Dropper and hopper. So what this does is, right now we have an item in here. Now when I press this button, this will power this, which will also power these two adjacent droppers. Now when I power that, this will activate first, which there's nothing in there, so you just have hear a click. But this will move the item into this one, powering this, which then you could take a repeater output and take it wherever you want. But when I activate it again, it shoots it up here, and then this gets powered too because this is being powered, and then it goes in this hopper and then it gets shifted back into here. Now you can also take an output from here as well if you want, or you can take it from here or here. This one's much more flexible and it's also more compact. Alright, now this design is a bit more complex. So it uses locking repeaters, which is not commonly used. Some of you don't even know what that is. What a lock repeater is all it does is when it's locked like this, you power it onto the side, has this bedrock bar, and it stays in that state indefinitely until this turns off, and then whatever it should be in, it will go back to. So technically it should be off, but it's not because it's locked. So what this does is when I press this button, this will lock this repeater, and this will unlock this repeater. Now what that will do is this will be off and this will be on. So it will be trying to power this. But when the button turns back off, this will unlock this, and at the same time this will lock this, and this will be off because this here didn't have enough time to power it. There you go. Now that this is powered, this technically should be on, but it's not because it's locked. Now when we press this again, this will unlock this, and then this signal will be locked, and this will stay off, and then when this turns off, this will shift forward, like that, and it will get locked. So this is a very complicated design, and it's a bit less compact, but it's silent. So if you want something that's completely silent, this is your best bet. And here, take a picture if you want, or pause the video. Alright, one very useful use of the T flip-flop is actually right out your front door. Okay, first up. So most people, they either have a button or a lever for their iron door, because if you use wooden doors, zombies are going to break it down and then you're screwed. And that's mostly for survival builds. So let's say you have an iron door and you're like, you either want to bring in a lot of stuff, like from an old house or something, and you have to go in and out of here a lot, or if you just don't want to have the hassle of running in when it's open. Well, we have a solution for that. T flip-flop. You press the button, door opens, stays open as long as you want, and you can open and close it from any side. Because with levers, you can only open and close it from where the lever is. Kind of making it useless. So I can turn it off here, or when I get inside, I can close it there. Now let's look behind the scenes. Right here, as you can tell, T flip-flops can be very compact, especially this design. So what we have here is, I have this button, and it is powering this redstone right here, which activates this T flip-flop, and then when the item is in here, it will unlock the door. And then all I have to do to make it look like it's not there is just, throw a little of this, or I could throw some, whatever you want. You can just have a little furnace wall right here, and no one will know it's there. So that's one use for T flip-flop. T flip-flops have many more uses than just being your doorknob. They are normally used for when you want to have multiple ways to activate a certain circuit. So like in your house, if you have like a 3-way or 2-way switch, that actually uses a different version of a T flip-flop. It's really the same thing. Now that we know how all this works, we gotta build it, because without building it, you can't use it. So first, have a button, and then you want to have a redstone dust. And then underneath, right here, you want to have a piston facing upward with a cyan wool, or any block of your choice. And then you want to have a repeater coming out. Always a repeater. Now, you want to put a sticky piston, that repeater running into the sticky piston, with a block of redstone. And then you can have an output from here, here, or here. Doesn't really matter. And then all you have to do, press the button, and there you go. T flip-flop. Alright. Now, let's say you want to be more 2020, and you want to use a newer version of T flip-flop. Or if you're in Bedrock, because you can't use that in your Bedrock. So, first, you want to have a dropper facing upward, dropper facing to the side, and then a dropper facing into this one. Then you want to have a hopper on top of that, and then put any item of your choice. Then you want to have a repeater powering into that dropper, or you can have a redstone dust, but you cannot have a block being powered next to it. That won't work. And then all you have to do is put a comparator wherever you want to measure it. So here or there. Now there's actually another way to build this. So what you do is you have a dropper facing upward, like you did last time. Have a hopper going into this dropper, dropper on top, and then a dropper facing into this hopper, and then power this guy here. Let's see, there we go, and then put the item in, and then you can take an output. There you go. So those are the two different ways you can do that. Now, this version is normally used more. Finally, this version, I'm not going to show you how to build it, because honestly, it's not compact enough, nor it doesn't serve much of a purpose when you've got those two. So if you want to build this, you can take a picture, pause the video, and look at it. But honestly, if I were you, I'd just stick to these two. Because this, although it is silent, it's no more efficient than these two are. I hope you enjoyed today's episode about T flip-flops. They're very interesting and very useful circuits, especially since they can take a pulse and turn it into a constant signal. So, these things can be used in anything from doorknobs to basically controlling computers, because actually your computer that you're using to watch this now, or phone, has a lot of T flip-flop circuits in it, as a matter of fact. So that's pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed, and catch you in the next episode when we talk about randomizer circuits.